Many thanks for joining us on GBS. Today with me, Henry, is the head of the medical chapter of the Union of Kenya Civil Servants. He is Evans Nasebe. Evans?
How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Yes.
You're very much welcome to discuss.
Yes.
Actually, I would love to know,
Yes.
how did the Union of Kenya Civil Servants come to be?
Yeah, Union of Kenya Civil Servants actually, it was formed a long time in 1960s. And it was formed on the basis of representing all the union of the civil servants in this country. But it was actually brought down by the government, and it resurfaced again in early 2000.
Then how does one become a member? Once I become a civil servant, does it automatically mean I'm part of your union?
No, according to Labor Relations Act, it stipulates very well that for you to become a member of at any trade union in this country, it's your choice. So it's a choice of any civil servant. So long as you are a civil servant, it's your choice to join Union of Kenya Civil Servants.
How many members does the union have as per now?
The union has, I actually don't have exact numbers, but they range into several thousands of members.
Don't you feel that the union has so many members as per now?
No, that is so good. When you have trade unionism is about numbers. We do not want fragmented trade unions. We do not want briefcase unions. Like when you hear someone talking about nurses union, first of all, I don't want to talk about union of nurses because there is nothing like that. The registration, they don't have. Members themselves who are calling themselves officials, they are not officials. So first of all, they're engaging in criminal activity under Article 23 of Labor Relations Act. Yes.
When you say they themselves, this is, you allege that it is on personal gain.
Yes.
That they are calling for the registration of the union.
Yes.
Yet they themselves feel that they are not fully represented within your union. And
Yes.
they even allege that yourself, you are not a nurse.
Yes.
Or you're not a health profession.
Yes.
To represent them.
No, Union of Kenya Civil Servants, like I've told you, is a body, a big body. This is a giant union representing all civil servants. And by the virtue of nurses being civil servants, they have been captured under that particular arrangement of the union.
If you say that it is on personal gains,
Yes.
then why are the other nurses joining in the strike?
I don't think all nurses are joining the strike because we have got so many nurses, and if we bring for you the list of nurses who are supporting the position of the Union of Kenya Civil Servants, you will be shocked. These people, they're just assembling a few people in the Uhuru Park there and then bringing them on board that these are people shouting that Nasebe must go. But that is not the position. The position is that they are well represented, and this one was well demonstrated when the board that registers the unions saw that, and in fact, the registrar of trade unions wrote to them and informed them in Form D and closed it within that particular reply, showing that the interests of nurses are well represented within the Union of Kenya Civil Servants.
Let me interrupt you, Mr. Evans.
Yes.
Have you visited any public hospital?
Yes. In December, I was in Bungoma District Hospital. I went to Kakamega District Hospital. I also passed through Uasin Gishu District
What's
Hospital.
the condition there?
The condition was not good by that time. In fact, I sympathized. In fact, in my own village, I lost a gentleman because of the strike. And they were asking me that, what have you done? And I was still reassuring them that come January, everything will be fine, because that was only just by the time when December holidays.
Now, despite your assurance
Yes.
that the strike will be over,
Yes.
we are seeing that it is going now even beyond 1 month right now.
Yes.
And we saw that, the industrial court
Yes.
gave 2 orders. Right now, the nurses themselves, they are saying they're confused. They don't know which one to follow. What is your take on this?
I think any nurse who is confused is not a normal nurse, because any nurse who was in court saw the able judge ruling it very well that the strike should be called off and nurses should report on duty immediately. That was meant as early as on Friday. They were supposed to be on duty in that very afternoon. And any nurse who is not on duty today is risking his job. And that's why I'm saying that any nurse who wants his job, let him go back to work. And I'm very sure that as the reports that we are having as per now, that so many nurses are already trickling in to their job places. Apart from these guys who are not working anywhere, they want some nurses also to be sacked and look like them.
they are complying with order number 2. That is by Lady Justice Maureen.
Yes.
What happens to order number 1 by Honorable Justice David Marete?
I am not a lawyer, but what I understand about law is that when an order is evacuated, now the current order supersedes the previous order.
What actually, as a union, are you advocating for, other than just the court, kind of order?
In leadership, we talk about one step by step. So the current step is to call off the strike or to evacuate the strike and people report on duty. Thereafter is when now we can look at. In fact, these people, they are risking. The group that is calling for the strike is putting themselves into a very big risk because 1, after this, we are going to assess the effects of the strike. 2, we shall be looking at lives of people that have been lost. And 3, these people, we shall be calling for Director of Public Prosecutions to prosecute them.
Okay, looking at the effects,
yes,
will you then look at the, what the nurses want, because they are calling for the
We have already looked at that. Nurses are already enjoying the work of Union of Kenya Civil Servants. Every Kenyan knows that nurses in early month of this year, they got between 15,000 to 30,000 extraneous allowance. And that is on record, and it was done by Union of Kenya Civil Servants.
Other than the extraneous allowance?
Just some, in the year, in the month of July, they got 17% salary increment, the work of Union of Kenya Civil Servants. Very much after this, maybe in the next 1 or 2 months, they're going to get again house allowance that the Union of Kenya Civil Servants has been agitating for.
It has been alleged that 1.5% of the basic salary of nurses comes to a union.
Yes, that is under ILO. ILO stipulates that members shall contribute between 1 to 1.5% of their basic salary, because for the virtue of the beneficial of interest of representation.
How is the money spent? Because actually they are saying that this money is being misappropriated.
No, whoever is saying like that, they are not nurses. They are this group of Panyako and his group. And like you have seen, when I was looking at Panyako in the court, I was seeing this gentleman putting nurses' position in very poor place, because nurses would have hired a lawyer to represent them. This man came in court as a lawyer representing them, and himself is not a lawyer. I was just looking at him and sympathizing because he was behaving like people that we see in Vioja Makamani. So he wanted maybe to bring that. He thought that Vioja Makamani films can work in court.
Why are you totally against the registration of the Nurses Union?
We are not against the registration of Nurses Union, because we are not the ones who register unions in this country. The people that are actually given mandate to register the nurses any union in this country is National Labor Board, which assessed after application by these individuals to register the nurses union, and they saw that the interests of nurses are well represented in the Union of Kenya Civil Servants, Kudeihia, and local government union.
Then what you mean is that if they are registered as a union, you are ready to let go?
Of course, that is something that we have to fight. Nobody wants to lose any membership. Nobody wants to lose a member. I've told you in the first place that the most important thing about any trade unionism is about numbers.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much, Mr. Evans Nasebe.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Even as the nurses strike continues, there's nothing much we can do as a country, but wait and see, since it's a pending case in court. I have been Henry Maina, and thank you very much for joining us.